So now I have identified that, okay, I have only so much time and I have this much to do. Can I do it all by myself?
Hmm.
The answer most of the time would not be yes, because I cannot do it all by myself. So that's where asking for help and delegating comes in. That we um, find our village, we find our community, we find our support system, whoever it could be. It could be my mom, it could be my husband, it could be my friends, my neighbors, whoever. So identify your circle, your strengths, your people around you, and your community, and then delegate.
Hey everyone, welcome to Fearless Women podcast series. I am Prina Shah, host from Fearless Women Group, and I am here today with Pallavi Mishra, who is also a Jay Shetty-certified coach, uh, specialized in balance coaching. So, welcome Pallavi to Fearless Women podcast, and please introduce our listener, share about yourself.
Thank you, Prima, for having me and giving me this opportunity. I've heard and watched Fearless Women and followed you guys on Instagram, and I really love the work you guys have been doing so far. So, having said that, I thank you guys for being a part of this and doing this today. My name is Pallavi Mishra, and like how Prina just introduced, I'm a certified balance coach, and we are from the same school, Jay Shetty School. And I mostly work with young women to help their to find a balance in their life and live a life that's full of purpose and on their own terms. So that's what mostly I've been doing for last almost 2 years. It's pretty new. After I got my certification, launched my business, and working with clients.
Oh, that's amazing. So balance coach. And I like what you are saying about helping women to find their balance. But I would like to know
Yeah,
more about that. We'll come back that back in a bit. But
yeah.
about your journey, what brought you into the coaching, how you decided to be
Um,
a coach. I would like to know more about.
yeah. It's very interesting that you asked that because this is the first question I really get asked a lot, honestly. That first, what is a coach, which we all are taught right in the beginning of our session, and then why coaching. So, of course, most of us already know by now what a coach is, and why coaching is. How I got here was up until maybe 3 years ago, I had no idea what coaching was, and what coaches do. And like most of us, we would just know a cricket or a soccer coach or a swim coach. That's all I knew. So it was the time of my life where my kids were growing up, and I have two girls, 18 and 13. And, you know, I realized, oh my God, my older one will be, out of the house and in college soon, and my younger one is going to be middle. And now I have more time because they were independent, and I've been a stay-at-home mom for a long time. Like since my first one was born, I gave up my job and whatever I was doing, and I was like a full-time mom, and I loved every bit of it. So, but then it was a time that okay, now I need to do something for myself. And so I was like, okay, I love talking to people. And one of my friends, she's just like, Pallavi, you're already, are our therapist and our agony aunt and everyone else. Why don't you do something in psychology or be a mentor or something like that? I was like, that's a lot of a whole lot of education in different field. I don't want to be a PhD certified doctor psychologist. So we were just going back and forth with my friends and my family. I was like, what can I do, and what is it that I love? Because I wanted to do something I enjoy. At the
Right.
same time, my basic most important part was I wanted to give back to the community in some way. So to find that combination was challenging. I knew I could get into IT or any kind of corporate job where I would work and get the money and get the satisfaction of meeting people, talking to them. But that was not something satisfying for my soul that I wanted to do. I love interacting with people, and I love being a part of their life and their journey, and I'm truly interested in doing all of that. So um, during COVID, things became more different. Like we all were into, soul searching and spiritual journey, and we had that time off. So that is when one of my friends sent me this Jay Shetty school link. And I looked up into it. I was like, that sounds interesting. So even after I joined the school, I had no idea what I'm getting into. But it was something that changed me and made me a better person,
Mhm.
and the impact it had on me, and I was so blown away by the whole coaching community and the style, that I was like, okay, if this can do this to me, I'm pretty sure, it's going to I call it the magic of coaching.
Yeah.
So I was like, we need to spread that magic, and I need to, give. This is what I want to give back to the community and be there for my friends and family and more people. So yeah. So I know I took a lot of time, because this is always a very emotional part that why I chose coaching. So this
No,
is what I.
definitely. This is really helpful to understand, and thanks for sharing that because I think, when you reach at the stage of your life when you want to do something more fulfilling,
Yeah.
and that's where you decide to,
Yes.
but you're also like thinking of not just like doing and working for the sake of it, but
Yeah.
you can also bring back and have that impact in community as well, and that's why you end
Yes.
choosing coaching. And I like how you
Yeah.
put more thought into at that stage of life what is important to you, because that is very important,
Right.
and you found
Right.
somewhere your purpose while answering
Right.
questions. So that's
Yes.
really beautiful journey that you are hop on to. But now I would like to know more about, because you said you are a balance coach. What does balance
Yeah.
coach does?
So again, going back to the school, how it changed my life, we really were forced to find a niche, which is important for all of us to find. So that is where I thought that something that's close to me and something that comes naturally um, to me is that people open up and then they share their whole life story without me asking many questions. So but the one thing that came out of multiple conversations and the clients and the people around me was we all were, at different stages of our lives, and we all were looking for different things. Whereas the world has given us a cookie cutter thing that if you don't fit into this mold, then there is something wrong. And then uh, people say, oh, I need to find it. And always tell people that, we use this term quite loosely, that finding balance, it's not that it's something that we have lost. It's just that we are at a different stage of life, that we need to bring that thing into this stage of life. So the balance part comes that, okay, when I'm 40, there are different things that I need. So the scale of the balance would be completely different. For me, family, my children, and my health, and my parents, they will hold more weightage. Whereas other things, as in, going out or socializing or partying or mindless chatter, will not hold that much importance. So now my balance is completely different. It has shifted. Whereas 20 years ago, when I was 20 or maybe 25, it'll be completely different. I would rather be with my friends, focus more on my career, and, looking for love and a life partner. Then
Yeah,
the balance is completely different.
yeah.
So the whole idea of being a balance coach is to first understand what is it that's going on in our life and what stage of life we are at, and how do we, make the most of it and live a fulfilling life and still be happy and keep doing what we are doing today.
That's really interesting what you just shared, right? Because each stage of human life, we are looking and like chasing different things, and each
Yes.
stage of life will bring a balance in a different form. So that is really interesting. And coming back to like, being a balance coach, what are the struggles that you have like, see or have observed, especially women are facing to find balance in their
Yeah.
life?
Yeah. I'm glad that we are talking about it because there are, like I said, everyone has their own journey, but we all live in the society. So there are multiple things that has become the normal for women, and we are supposed to chase that. We are supposed to have a perfect body. We are supposed to look pretty all the time. We're supposed to, be the best mother, the best wife, and a great boss at work. So these things are very hard to find, and we are kind of pushed into the corner. And if we just don't do any of those one things right, then oh my god, our life is in shambles. We cannot achieve what we are supposed to be achieving and supposed to be doing. So the biggest challenge, what I have felt personally, and when I interact with people as women who are in the work field, who are going back to work, who are returning moms, or who are already working, or even at stay at home moms, is to understand that, we are a different person today. We cannot be what we were when we were 16. Because the biggest thing that people always do is they compare themselves to themselves.
Mm.
Oh, I was not like that. I don't know what happened. Oh, my stomach was not that fat. I don't know what happened. Oh, I was better with people earlier, not anymore. Or, so we just keep beating ourselves up over something that was in the past. That was different us, different circumstances, different support system, different situation, and different stage of life. So that's the biggest challenge that I have seen. And I did that too. Because, when you have babies and when you have responsibilities, like losing weight, for example, was one thing that, we all struggle and we all think twice, you know, to put anything in our mouth. So I was like, oh my God, I was 100 pounds when I got married. What happened to me and this and that? But then we don't take into account that I just had a baby. My body went through completely different, unimaginable things that a human possibly can do. So that's the biggest challenge that I think we all face, is just comparing ourselves continuously, either with ourselves or with people around us, or hypothetical situations. So instead of understanding, going inwards, that who we are, where we are at, and how the circumstances around us has shaped us today,
Mm-hmm.
is completely different than what it was a few years ago.
Interesting. So, say for example, when you come across women, especially like facing these kind of issues or like struggles, or are like having this challenging time in their like transitional time, how as a balance coach you approach those challenges?
So, like Rima, you would know, being a coach is definitely a goal-oriented um, technique. So
Mm-hmm.
we're not mentors, we're not therapists. So every individual comes up with their own goal. Let's say if they have anxiety, and one of my very first clients, she came. She was young, not married, but she's like, "Oh my God, I need to lose weight." And that kind of threw me off, because I'm like, I'm not a health coach. Excuse me. And how will I help her,
Mm-hmm.
losing weight? But I was like, okay, let's do it. Excuse me.
If you
So
want
I
to
was
say
like,
water,
okay,
that's fine.
Yeah. I was looking for my water. Just give me 1 second. Yeah. So, and the more conversation we had, it was not about losing weight. What happened? Sorry about that.
It's fine. It's fine.
It was more about, your self-worth,
Hmm.
your self-respect, how you see yourself in your own eyes. The day we get that right, most of the things fall in place. So, how in coaching we go session by session, layer by layer, and we find the root cause, work on that to achieve the end result.
Right.
And I was blown away that in just 4 sessions, like by the time we were at the fourth session, we didn't do anything. We were just talking and trying to figure out. And she gave up drinking. She started eating healthy and she lost 25 pounds. So, this is what bringing balance, because she could connect again with herself, and she put herself as the most important person in her life. And when you do that, then you start working around it, that, okay, I'm an important person and I'm worth more than that. I cannot throw myself away for drinking 3 days a week, or I cannot throw myself away for eating junk. If I can care for others for eating healthy and working out, why don't I do that for myself? So this is just one of the examples, but that's what most of us are doing. We're now realizing that we are worthy too.
Yeah, this is really so interesting because a person who comes for like maybe like looking for health coach because that person wants to lose weight, but I love that, like how powerful the coaching is. It's because when we are actually start like going layer by layer deep down, we come across a root cause which is different than actual their goal, and once that we address at that, and we as a coach we don't like ask that, but like it's more about reflection of what's the root cause, and then they actually get that self realization, and that's
Yes.
when the shift happens. That's when the shift happens. They start being more responsible towards what they are acting, or in this
Yeah.
eating or like their health lifestyle. So I really like what you shared. And what are like other challenges that you can think of in our day-to-day life where women still struggle? One would be like, yeah, like comparing themselves, but what are different like situation in our day-to-day life that women still find like, need that balance, uh, in your opinion?
We're all told to be independent and strong and fearless all the time. And that makes us, and we want to be, and we are in so many ways, but we're not allowed to be weak or um, helpless or vulnerable. If we do any of that, we're again the societal pressure and how we are groomed, that we just cannot do it. We cannot uh, throw a fit, or we cannot cry, or we cannot have all those moments that make us weak and vulnerable. So the biggest challenge among the other challenges is uh, that we don't ask for help.
Right.
We are never taught how to do that. We are never taught to build a circle around us, or build a community around us, which says, okay, I'll jump in. You need help? I'll jump in. But what do we do instead? We say, someone calls us, hey, let me know if you need any help. What's the first thing we all do? We say, yeah, sure, we'll let you know. But what do? We never call that person back and say, hey guys, I need help. Come help me or do this for me. We would just try to do everything all by ourselves and never reach out to people. And there is no specific reason for that. So I have always felt that, if I want to help my friend and she says no, I feel bad about it because I genuinely want to. If I'm offering help, someone should accept it. And not accepting help is not only bad for a human being like me as a person, that because I am just overloading myself and drowning and not asking for help, but it's not healthy for the relationship as well. Because if I'm a true friend and you're not letting me in and you're not letting me help you, I feel bad about it. And it's the same way the other way around, that if you needed help and you're not telling me, or I am not telling you, I'm not letting you in, then what kind of relationship is that? And we do that to everybody. We do that with our partners, our husbands, our friends, our neighbors, even mothers would know. We do everything for our children. It's like, no, 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 I got it. You don't worry about it. You need this, I'll do it. Or you need to do laundry, I'll do it. And we just keep taking things on upon ourselves and never go out there and say, hey guys, help me out. Because we are that strong, independent women that we got it all. And that leads to burnouts, and that leads to dissatisfaction, and that leads to sometimes even frustration that, oh my God, I'm alone in this. There is no one out there, and I am just doing everything and I'm holding the fort. It is overwhelming. So that is also one of the challenges we as women go through on a daily basis without even realizing.
Yeah, I think, this is very like, because I personally is also like struggling when I have to like seek help. And I always it's I have started reflecting on that why it is so. It's more from the like space from where I got it all. I know I figured it out all, and I can do everything on my own. So
Yeah.
but what you here interestingly mentioned that like when a friend is offering a help or your close one are offering your help, it's also there is like a very nice thread of you are also building that relationship where it's
Yes.
a symbiosis relationship, or like you are trying to be together for, and that shows like like relationship has like different sides, you know
Yes.
where you
Yes.
can like show your happy side, then you also can show your vulnerable side, your like
Yes.
moment of weakness. So this is really interesting on, because in today's world where everybody's trying to like put up a face of strength, that like it's
Yeah.
got it everything together,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
showing that vulnerable side to the close one is also helpful in moment to moment or
It
sometime.
is definitely you. It's like letting them in. We cannot. We all know it's not humanly possible to do everything all by yourself. So we have to let others in, and we have to let them help you. And it's not just uh, like a relationship thing, but it's also about delegation. That we are too proud to delegate, and we do not know what this person is going to do with it if we let them do it. So there are other things, like you said, there are multiple threads that come out of it, that if we delegate, what if we all want to be perfectionist as well, which I recently realized that, oh, perfectionism harms you more than it benefits you. And there is honestly no such thing as perfectionism. So we just want everything to be perfect, and that is why we want to do it all the more. Like, no, I don't think they can do what I can do. So that is also one of the reasons we really don't want help. but uh, I think it's healthier to take that resort and walk that path as well.
Yeah, definitely. And say, for example, women who are right now trying to balance their maybe work life, if they are feeling burnout or overwhelmed with personal life, if they are trying to take everything on their own. As a balance coach, what you suggest or how you approach this scenario so that they can still find a balance in their life without not feeling that overwhelming or burnout. Mm.
Yeah, that's something that I realized when I started my own business, launching the company and learning so many new tools. And I'm sure most of the moms who've been working for a long time, or the moms who stay at home, and even the returning moms like me, we all feel so many challenges every day. And like, who doesn't? We just don't realize it. Like you said, on social media, on Instagram and Facebook and everywhere, we just see the best pictures. We don't see when we are crying and breaking down, and we don't see anyone, saying that I ain't got it all together. We all see prim and proper, picture perfect uh, reels and videos and everything. So the challenges that I face personally, and which I feel most of us feel in terms of work and going back to work, is it all starts with um, we all need to set goals. We all need to know first what we want, and then by setting goals, I mean identify the priorities.
Hmm.
Like I said, at this stage of life, what is my priority? And that is when let's say if I have only 24 hours in a day, how will I distribute them based on my priority? Let's say my kids, family, husband, they take a big chunk. Then comes business, but then that was 10 years ago, right? My kids are older and my husband is pretty independent, I would say. but so but today, if I'm launching my own business, and if I want to move ahead my career, or I want to study something, so my priority will be business. Now the bigger chunk will go to the business, and then comes husband and children and other things. So the first thing to understand is what my goals are and what's my priority in
Hmm.
terms of bringing balance in my life today,
Right.
not 10 years ago, not in future, today, right now. What is it that I want going forward? So that comes number one. And then the second thing comes as time management. Okay, I set all of that. How am I going to manage all this? So we need to, like I said, we have only 24 hours. We need self-care, we need sleep, we need nutrition, we need education, we need to take care of people around us. So how are we going to manage that time? So I somehow I read it somewhere, the 888 principle
Hmm.
that helps, like 8 hours and 8 hours and 8 hours, like 8 hours of sleep, 8 hours of work, and the other 8 hours of your other self care, children, kids, everyone. And then, no, sorry, how many hours did I do? The
Yeah.
wrong math.
No, it's well.
Okay, sorry, I suck at math. So yeah, so that comes, the time management would be the second one, and then the third one would be ask help and delegate. So now I have identified that, okay, I have only so much time and I have this much to do. Can I do it all by myself?
Hmm.
The answer most of the time would not be yes, because I cannot do it all by myself. So that's where asking for help and delegating comes in. That we um, find our village, we find our community, we find our support system, whoever it could be. It could be my mom, it could be my husband, it could be my friends, my neighbors, whoever. So identify your circle, your strengths, your people around you, and your community, and then delegate it. So that would be the third step in after time management. And then I would like to set boundaries at the same time,
Hmm.
because that is something that we all lack. have no idea. We don't even know that that's even a thing, you know, that what you can say no to socializing, or you can, let people walk all over you, and you can actually stop them from doing that, you know. So setting boundaries is so important, um, for anything you want to do in life. So after we have identified all of that, that is when comes the setting boundary part, that okay, I got this. Now this I can take and this I cannot. This I will accept and this I will not. Or for example, we would just have, I remember, if I'm sleepy and tired, but even if my kids want to come and jump in my bed even after 10:30 because they are so charged and energized, I would let them. And then setting boundary would mean that, hey guys, I'm tired. I played with you in the evening. Please, you want to go read a book in your room? Let me be. I want to sleep at 10 o'clock. This is something very small that we all go through, but we don't know how to deal with that. So, same way at workplace and in other personal relationships, and we don't know how to say no. We want to say no, but we still end up saying yes.
Right.
So that is what we have to learn. Setting boundaries would be another thing. And then the two important things that really work for me for as a small business, or even for working moms or moms staying at home, is using the technology to your advantage, which was a big fear for me. It was like the big ghost. I would look at the computer and run in a different direction and call my older one, who was 16 and 17 at that time. I was like, hey, can you help me do this? Can you help me figure it out? What do I do now? And then for the first few months, she did help me out. And then she said, mm-mm. She just played the same card that I play on her. She's like, I will let you do it, mother. You have to figure it out yourself. I am not going to be here. This is not my business. So I'm here if you need me, but you figure it out first. So that was a big learning experience for me. So many people already have that, and some people do not have a fear, or they're not as fearful as me when it comes to technology and computer. But it does make you proud. I was celebrating my small wins, that yes, I created my own Google form and I had the response, and now it's an Excel sheet. Great job, Pallavi. I would celebrate my tiny wins. So celebrating is important. And so yes, using technology for your advantage, definitely highly recommend. Saves a lot of time and energy for you.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, seeking professional help, finding a mentor, finding a coach, finding a guide who can actually help you. That speeds up the process, cuts down your struggle, and helps you become more enriched and independent at the same time with the right knowledge.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like there is Google and there is YouTube, but it's just going to take you much longer, talking from experience.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so hiring a business coach or hiring a mentor, or seeking some kind of help and professional help, I would say, would be very important. And lastly, in my case, because I launched my own business and we were working from home right after COVID, uh, involving your children and family in your business is a great way to achieve the quality time, as well as they know what you were doing in your life. They are a part of your life, just how you are a part of their life. So involving them in business was a big thing that helped me, not just by seeking help, but in some decision making as well. That when I was deciding the name of the company, my older one, she designed the logo for me.
Wow.
She's like, you know what? Yeah, she's like, you know what? I'll do that logo for you. And then when it was time for me to print my visiting cards, my younger one, she said, okay, I'm going to go and print. And I know this website and I know this people. And she printed out the whole template. And the color scheme of the company and the website and the logo. So the kids were involved and they were as excited and enthusiastic as me. And then, the energy you get from them is completely different. So involving children in your work, I think most of the time they're happy to help whenever they have the time and bandwidth and energy. They would really want to be a part of your life, like friends and other people. So these are the few things that I have followed and personally experienced that they work.
No, definitely. You brought so many points, right? Which can actually affect, and also we can overcome all the struggle in our different areas of
Yes.
life or doing different things from prioritizing what is important, like time management, delegate, seek help, and
Yeah.
then uh,
Technology, use of
uh,
technology.
yeah, use of technology, and take professional help, because that's something, as I'm
Yes.
I struggle, and it took so much time, and I felt so overwhelmed and burnout at the end of the day, and I was still stuck at get clarity on my direction.
Yes.
And then when I actually seek help of a different coach, at that time I found like it speed up my process, and I found clarity in my own working, and that was
Yeah.
amazing. And I like how beautifully you shared about involving your kids and family, and how they help you
Yeah.
logo design and printing out the card. That's so important, and
Yeah.
it's very interesting because um I can just imagine how that camaraderie can become, because now kids
Yes.
are like enriching their own creativity. You are now
Yes.
also spending that quality time. It's still you are working
Yes.
on your own business, so that's very
Yeah.
interesting way of finding that balance where you're doing a common thing, but
Yes. Yes.
having different using different
Yeah.
strengths of your family. So that's very beautiful.
True.
um and I remember in our one-off conversation, you mentioned about reparenting. And
Yes.
I would like to, I'm not going to share what it is, but I would like to know from you, what, because
Yeah.
now we are looking, you have your own podcast
Right.
on that, and just share what
Yes.
is reparenting, because that's really very
Yeah.
interesting terminology.
Yeah. Thank you for remembering that, Prima. So yeah, I've been, like I said, a mom for last 18 years, and I was a stay-at-home mom for a long time. So children and family, they are very important part of my life, and uh, but at the same time, I realized that when you're a first-time parent, you have no idea what's going on in your life. You're just suddenly responsible for another human being, and we are learning as parents. We're trying to do our best at most of the time, and we're still learning at the same time, and in the process we forget that what our kid is thinking and what they are going through, which uh, has never been a part of discussion growing up, for me at least. How we were raised was like, okay, we give you food, shelter, best of everything, great education, you're happy and fed, go figure. We were never talking about feelings, and we were not talking about being upset or not upset or being happy or excited. It didn't really was a thing while growing up. So as parents, we kind of try to imitate how we grew up and how we were raised. And we think that, okay, it has been done for last so many years and it has been working. Look at us. We are completely fine. We are doing well. And then we try to do the same thing with our children, whereas it does not work as well as it might have or it should have. So this podcast idea came when I was talking to children and they have their own opinion. I'm like, okay, why don't we all talk about raising children? Why don't we talk about raising parents? That as a parent, how can we grow up and how can we understand from the children's perspective, from their point of view? So that's what this podcast is about. I have kids who choose their own topic, something that's dear to them, something that they want to talk about. And then we have this kind of conversation where I try to understand what is going on. And it's very interesting. The kind of topics that we have done so far is like one of the kids, I have not recorded that yet. She said, "Oh, math is not the most important subject in school. I want to talk about that." And I'm like, oh, why not? That's true, because we all are always talking about STEM and math, and that the fear of math has been so strong in all of us, people who are not that great at math like me. While I was even right now on podcast, when we were calculating the time, I was like, what did I do? Did I make a mistake? Was I correct? So that kind of hit home for me, because I was never great at math. I would barely pass. Like, okay, God, please just save me this time. And, we'll worry about it later. So that's the podcast about, that what children are thinking and how we can learn from them and be a better parent and have a better, healthy relationship with our children. So that's what the podcast is about. So thank you so much, Prima, for bringing that up today.
I mean, especially I'm Indian.
Yeah.
It has like math is given. You have to be good. So
Yes, you have to be. We Indians, we cannot be bad at math and science. They have to be an important part of our life.
no, but like joke apart, but this is really interesting what you shared about like understanding like parenting from child's perspective, because right now as we are talking a lot of like the conscious parenting, how the parents could be uh, more on the parenting zone, but that's still like we are educating parent, but this is a different take of what childrens are looking for, what their emotions, what
Yes.
they feel, what their thoughts are, and
Yeah.
reaching out to wider audience and bringing that in on like platform like
Yeah.
that would be really interesting, and it would be fun to like listen to those kids as well, because I look
Yes.
like kids having their different take on things, and that's very
Yes.
interesting. That's really
Yeah.
wonderful. And so now we are like coming in like very end of our section, and I like to like
Yes.
get like some fun questions. So
Yeah.
uh this is like more in like like we are having like discussion around like coaching and
Right.
uh how our life could be and all, but let's talk about fun part as well. Just
Yeah.
your day-to-day life, what is one thing that you do for fun? What is idea for fun?
Oh, that I do for fun. This is pretty recent. Again, every story will involve my children. So this is pretty recent. My kids and I, we solved the New York puzzle, the crossword mini, and it's timed. So we have to compare who did it in lesser time. Yeah, so it's time. So that's the time limit.
Mm-hmm.
It's more so like a competition. So everyone, we would just wake up and we're done with our breakfast, and I was like everything, and I was like, oh, what was your time? What, you did it in under 1 minute? Mine was 38 seconds, or mine was 2 minutes and 33 seconds. So that's what we do. That's the fun thing. Excuse me, I don't know what happened today.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. But I think it's the allergies. We here in Texas, San Antonio, the allergies are really bad. But the fun thing that I do for myself every day is go for a walk.
Mm.
I love connecting with nature. I tried running. I have done a couple of marathons, but walking will still be the thing that I would love to do every day. So no matter what, I try to get out every morning. The kids, even sometimes when they're in bed or whatever, but that's what I do all the time. Put on
Yeah,
my shoes, go for a walk.
that's really fun. Like having this games, like family
Yeah.
games, and it's fun.
Yes. Yeah.
And what's one thing that you do that gives or brings balance in your own life or within you?
There are multiple things. One is pretty recent. Um, I know everyone talks about meditation, but meditation was something that maybe I'm not ready for it, or I'm not there yet. I don't know. My brain just doesn't stop working when I sit down in meditation. So something that brings peace and joy is, I every morning before I get out of the bed, I just take a couple of minutes to sit down, to breathe, and to remind myself that it's going to be okay.
Hmm.
It's going to be okay, because we most of the mornings I used to wake up with like, oh my god, I would just jump out of the bed. I'm late, I have to make breakfast. Oh, I have this meeting and I have to go there, and then this person is coming. Oh my god, I don't have enough time. So I was like always waking up with that feeling. So this is new. I don't call it meditation, but I give myself at least 3 to 5 minutes to just sit in the bed before I get off the bed and start my day. That, it's going to be good, and it's going to be fine, and, I'm going to have fun. So that's what brings me a little bit calm. And then again, of course, I jump into the crazy horse around the day doing things. But yeah, that's what it
Yeah,
is.
combining breathing with positive affirmation to go through.
Yes, yes,
Right.
yes. We call all those fancy words now, but I would just say give myself 2 minutes, like how I call my children. Just
Right.
give me 2 minutes. So that's what I'm doing. I'm giving myself 2 minutes before I start the day.
Mm-hmm. And what's one thing you would like to, which you might not be doing, but want to incorporate in your day-to-day life?
Meditation, for sure. I really want to do that, because uh, how they say, do something that scares you or that makes you uncomfortable. So, and every year I take a resolution, uh, and then I try to stick to it. And that resolution is pretty much, the newer resolution is something that scares me. Like this year, I took a resolution that I will take a bath with cold water every day. Cold as in, like, not ice cold, not the ice water bath that people are talking about. We are so used to showering with hot, like really hot water, for me at least, hot and warm. So I would just do room temperature, which is called cold for me. So that was the biggest challenge. And it makes me uncomfortable every morning. Like before I step into the shower, like, oh my God, okay, just do it. So I've been doing that every day. And every day it's making me uncomfortable. The day I feel comfortable, then I was like, okay, time for something new. But yeah, jokes apart, something I would like to intentionally incorporate in my life would be meditation. I don't know when and how, uh, but when maybe I'll be ready for it soon. But that's what I want to do.
I think what you are doing, like, like having that 2, 3 minutes, if you expand like 5, 10 minutes, you will be in the meditation mode. Definitely, because that's what you do, right? Like breathing and like
Right.
having no thoughts. So that's meditation. So
Yeah. Yeah. I'll get there one day, Prima. Thank you. Someday I'll get there.
yeah, because when I started meditating, it was like that only. I used to like put my son to sleep, and then
Yeah.
because I was sitting there, the room was dark, and I cannot
Right.
have to be quiet. So I'm like, let me just start meditating. So I did for like 5 minutes, then I increased my time by 10 minutes and 15 minutes. So that's how I,
Wow.
so, like, how they say, like, when you want to like create a new habit, you like, chain it with another activity that you are doing so that it's more easier,
Yes. Yeah,
something.
like a piggyback. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yep. This is really interesting. I love talking with you, Pallavi. It
Yeah.
was
Thank you so
so
much.
much
Same here.
like thoughts around how to find balance, but especially like what are the actual struggles where women are struggling to find that balance,
Yeah.
how like there are different ways that you can like do few things to gain that balance. I know it's
Yeah.
like everlasting journey, because at some point
Yes.
there
Every day.
we always will have to find which works for us to find balance. But thank you so much. I enjoyed interacting with you, learning about you, because this is first time we are
Yeah.
like meeting face to face.
Yes.
It was
Yes. Great talking to you. And thank you so much for having me and thinking of me. Thank you.